Hi. So in this video, I'm just going to quickly show you how to make this lotus flower. It's one of the simplest flower you can ever make, and you should have downloaded your templates by now, and your base, and whatever else you need. So we're just going to need 10 different templates. Cut out 10 pieces and cut out your base. For this, it's just going to be 5-sided. That's why we're using a 5-sided base. So the first thing you need to do is find a wooden dowel or a glue stick, whatever you need to roll or coil your petals. So you're just going to coil it on both sides. Notice I'm not coiling it straight, but I'm coiling it a bit angled. You just need to coil it at the tip of the edge. So we're needing 10 templates for this. So cut out 10 petals and roll every single one of them on the side. Roll it inward or outward, however you prefer, but I prefer to roll them inward. So just use a glue stick or a wooden dowel, a pencil, a pen, whatever is round enough for you to coil it. So that's 3, and this is 5. So count 5 petals and put it aside, and then count the next 5. So for this next 5, we're going to actually put a slit in between. So now take your scissors and put a slit just about halfway through the petal. Cut it just about halfway. So these petals with the cut slit are going to be for the second layer. All you need for this flower is just 2 layers. And so now we're going to glue the slits by overlapping the sides together. Just overlap it slightly, nothing too much, just slightly, so it just sits up a little bit. We don't want it to sit too much in. So add glue to one side of the petal and overlap the second part onto it. So just do that for the next 3 petals remaining. So now that we're done with that, you're going to get your base. Remember I said we're using a 5-sided base for this. It's just a pentagon, and that's because we just need 5 sides. Add glue to the flat petals and stick a petal per side, so each petal to one side of your polygon. And since your polygon has 5 sides, it's easy to know how many petals you need. If you're using a 6-sided base, then you can put 6 petals, or a 7-sided base. So sometimes when I make these flowers in bigger sizes, I use a 7-sided polygon, and I put 7 petals on the first layer and the second layer and a third layer. But this is a small flower, so we're just using 2 different layers. The first petals always lay flat, and the second petals will be overlapped. And if you're making a big one with a third layer, you need to overlap that too. So now we're going to place the next set of petals on the intersection of the last one. Just put it in between your first 2 petals. And keep putting the petals there until you have all 5 completed. Like I said, this is very easy flower to make, and we're almost done. After your last petal, now it's time to put our center in between. If you choose, you can decide to have a full loopy center, or you can just use one of these mini center cutouts. I have this available in the shop too if you like to get this. So first things is just to coil your petals. Coil the center inward. I like this particular center because then you can do things with the peas at the head of the centers. You can leave that alone if you like, but I like to make the centers a bit fuller. So I'm gonna curl another center cutout. And I'm gonna modify this one a little bit more, so it just looks a little bit funky. So I'm going to push this inward and just, use my hand to shape it so that it looks more ball-like. Now I call the innermost part of the center. Just use your palm to push that into so it's more seated upward. So now it's time to put our centers together. But before that, I'm going to fold the tip of this center so the pea look inside of it is more obvious, just so it has another effect to it. You absolutely don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I just love to do that. So now it's time to put the centers together. Add a dot of glue and stick it to the middle of your flower. And include the second layer of center. I just like to layer up the centers. It makes it look really full. And it gives sort of an exaggerated effect to the flower. They look like real life stamens. And then attach the last part of the center right at the middle. And voila, you have a very simple lotus flower looking pretty. So I want to see your creations when you make yours. Please tag me on Instagram, send me a DM, send me something on Facebook. I would love to see them, and of course share them. Thank you very much for watching.